We are running around, what is this, Balmora? Let's see, where are we right? Yeah, we're in Balmora. Okay, so I've got a couple quests I can do. Well, I've got more than a couple quests I can do. Let's find something to do, something fun to do. Okay, let's go talk to Sergeant Faldris.
You look like the trap sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vale? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the counselor. Along? Counselor Eris can be found at the Redarin kin house, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vaya. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the houseguard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redarin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a house counselor? Fair. How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Is this some sort of outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redarin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Counselor. Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redarin operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vaya is his daughter, after all.
You don't stand a snowball's chance in a forge. I witnessed your criminal actions, Hawker.
Okay, so that stealth kill was a little sloppy. He's kind of stabbing air and just puncturing blood out of it. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the Thieves Guild, fence this stuff off, try to sneak there without getting caught anyway, and get rid of my bounty that I just picked up. Okay, so I've got to find the lower Canton down here. Here we go. Alright, Thieves Guild incoming.
I buy a very specific kind of goods. I'm sure a smart seller like you can figure out what. What have you brought me today?
trust this one.
Can't you see I'm busy?
Here. Here.
Praise Vivec!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivec always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the tribunal. Did you bring the blessing stone? Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the blessing stone, and we'll begin the ritual.
Okay, cool. Before I start the quest, I wanted to walk up for some of you people that have not seen Vivec and get a look at the god of Morrowind. He's the, what is it, the human god? I forget exactly what they call him.
The battle ends before it begins when you control the field of battle, according to my odes of war. That means it's time to take your place now, so that we can perform the divination ritual.
Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivec's distress.
A clockwork mage. A Daedric cultist. Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, Gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. I've always used my power freely, and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who, before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvis and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity. But so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha's seal, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. You always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Balmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivec City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivec thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Barrelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivec's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see what you can learn. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivec. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I traced tendrils of Vivec's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivec's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
Apparently, this guy thinks enough of me, I can just kind of walk around taking his stuff now. See, there's no stealing. This just, he's like, hey, go ahead. Oh no, I was gonna go check out his desk. Okay, so we got a few quests to do in Balmora anyway, so it makes sense to go there. Oops, I think I see a quest maker, or a quest giver real quick. Let's go grab that.
This is bad. This is very, very bad. You look well-traveled, friend. Are you, by chance, going to Sadrath Mora? I can make it worth your while.
No, you could definitely just get the game, start playing it pretty much right out. In fact, I think you can even skip the tutorial, come straight to Morrowind. I haven't tried to do that, but everything scales in this game. So, and if you got a partner to play with, you can teleport right to him. You guys can start. It's pretty cool that way.
Opportunity. Or that's what I thought. until I angered de Vivec by failing to deliver the special mushrooms he ordered on time. Lost the shipment. Now I'm in a bind. I have the mushrooms, but I'm afraid fear will evaporate me for late delivery. You aren't at fault for the late delivery, so fear shouldn't do anything to you. Won't do anything to you, I mean. I guarantee it. Besides, I'll let you keep the payment he owes me as well. I'd rather avoid the situation altogether at this point. You're saving my life here, friend. I don't dare refuse the order, but I also don't want to meet a displeased Telvanni. For someone who's helping me out this much, you can ask as many as you like. Mora is up on the eastern coast, so you could walk, but I wouldn't recommend it. Talk to Cinda, our local navigator. She can sail you up there on her next trip. That's how I was going to get there until I missed my delivery time. The Telvanni aren't like you and I, friend. They're powerful and quick to anger and have no qualms about harming those who displease them. No clue. If a Telvanni mage wants them, I can only suppose they have magical properties. You won't see me putting them in any of my stews, that's for damn sure. You're saving my life here, for someone who's helping me.
Another adventurer looking for work? Did you? Well, that's why it was posted. It's simple. Citizens tell us what they need, and we arrange for the job to be completed. You will be able to meet with the client before starting the task. They'll also have your reward, not us. Belleru Omeril and her brother Traylan will handle your assignments. Check in with them frequently to see if they have a job for you. They'll inform you what you need to accomplish and who made the request. Belleru's requests may appear straightforward, but many adventurers find them difficult to accomplish. The assortment of enemies she'll ask you to face are all powerful, and I would recommend gathering allies before heading out. Traylan handles requests which the temple has special interests in. His tasks require more subtlety, but they are by no means easy. Make sure to listen to his explanations carefully. It's also a good idea to speak to the clients beforehand. I would hope. You came to us, after all. Traylan and Belleru are just down the hall. They should already have assignments for you. Speak to either of them to get started.
Alright, excellent. So, looks like we just unlocked a bunch of dailies, which is awesome.
Current events have left the temple in need of additional resources. The requests I handle are citizens whose interests best align with the goals of the temple. You'll work with these individuals to help better Vardenfell. Are you interested? Powerful Daedra have been sighted roaming the wilds near the sunken vaults of Ashalmawiya.
I've actually already cleared
It leaves
that.
little doubt that the servants of Molag Bal have returned to his ancient shrine to continue his dark works. That can't be allowed to continue. Savil Alam's reports speak of numerous rituals being performed by the Worm Cult to summon these Daedra. We must put a stop to them once and for all. I would seek out Savil before you attempt to do so. She may not have departed Vivec yet.
Okay, excellent. So, alright, let's grab this other daily here.
Citizens hand in their request, I tell you what I know, and you take care of it. The person with the problem is usually more than willing to talk your ear off about it. The more people you can convince to help you with the job, the better. Ever heard of the caldera north of Balmora? A rather nasty Nixox has decided to nest there, and it has a craving for the strange mushrooms that grow in the ashy soil. Normally not an issue, but Bravosi Felder is attempting to research the fungus. Just get rid of the Nixox and collect some mushroom samples. Easy, And don't bother asking me what he's up to. Telvanni wizard nonsense of some sort. Head to the caldera and deal with it. Felder's in the city if you need more information.
They've done a great job remaking the Cantons. As you can tell, they're just under construction. However, what's here is, you know, fantastic. As far as I've seen, they've recreated the whole feeling of the game along with the music, the sounds. Okay, let's go bother that guy real quick. We head out.
No end to those fetching Daedra. Cut one down, 3 more are summoned in its place. Traylon send you? Or you just attracted to the scent of Daedra blood?
You can start the expansion pretty much as soon as you're out of like the first starting area.
I'm no tour guide. What do you need to know?
And I believe you can even skip the first area and just jump right in, so you can get here pretty quickly.
The worm cult is trying to fill this world with Molag Bol's corruptions. The tribunal have protected Vardenfell from his dark anchors, but that hasn't stopped his thralls from doing all they can, like using an ancient shrine to summon his minions. What do you take me for? A pretender? Aside from Outlanders, quick to brag and quicker to die, I am the only thing keeping Bol's minions confined to Al-Sharmawiyah. I came to Vivec for resupply and to enlist some help. It'll have to do. Even if you killed every worm cultist in the place, there'll always be some other stupid fetcher waiting to meddle with a Daedric shrine. Just have to stay vigilant. Any and all. So far it's mostly been scamps or the odd clan fear poking out from the ruins, but the sounds I've heard echoing out of that place are fetching troubling. I think the cultists are becoming more practiced with their summoning.
you must be here about the job notice I posted. Wonderful. I really can't afford to lose more specimens. It's simple, really. I need you to get rid of that horrid Nyx ox so I can get back to my research. I also need you to collect as many mushroom samples as possible. The sooner the better. This whole affair has set my progress back at least 2 weeks. I have no idea! I'm starting from complete ignorance with this particular species. That's the beauty of discovery. The possibilities are endless. It's also precisely the reason I need so many specimens to continue my research. Isn't it exciting? Honestly, what am I not researching? The obvious alchemical ramifications of such a unique strain of fungi cannot be ignored, but there are so many possibilities. To give but one example, I've already found them to be an amazing addition to soup. I usually find it best to make peace with the local fauna when doing field work, but this Nyx ox has proved incorrigible. Not only does it plan to eat my mushrooms into extinction, it's also exceedingly malicious, hostile, and just plain unsanitary. I have no idea!
Even if you hadn't destroyed those shipments, I'm sure the Tribunal would have stopped the plague before it reached Morrowind.
Sing praises of his name. The plague man is nigh, the plague man is nigh. Our doom is nigh.
Yeah.
I'm down on my luck. Help me out?
Yeah.
Have mercy.
Yeah.
So this is how they start the Canton. That's really cool. I wonder which one this is going to be. And then you got just various stages of construction. That's really cool. I demand somebody build something like this in real life. You know, swimming around the bottom of the cantons is almost faster than just having to wander through them, actually. Gonna point that out.
Yeah.
By the three, I've never seen the mountain so active. And Bardao, I swear the moonlit looks like it's about to fall from the sky. I can't wait to set sail and put dry ground behind me. We're headed to Sadrith Mora if that's where you'd like to go. Just decide quick. I want to sail on the next tide.
Yeah.
That's not good. Don't get stuck there, guys. Alright. Yikes. Not sure what's taking so long here. Typically the load screens are about 5 to 10 seconds, so my guess is server's probably having some trouble. Alright, I'm going to try reloading here. We'll be back here in 5 minutes, so we'll do a quick break. Okay, we've reloaded. We are theoretically go for another round here. Let's see. Don't make me a liar, Elder Scrolls. Okay, so we've come to somewhere in Balmora.
Please, if you just listen. I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Red Guard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No historians will cherish my thoughts, certainly, but perhaps my children will come to in time. I purchased it from my master, Drenham, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence. Naria less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drenham consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
Welcome to the Randy Niche Inn.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional traveling merchant. Thought Caroline might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redoran and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I like the color of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Do you make a habit of randomly accosting people while they fish? I don't see how that's any of your business. I've nothing to say to my father or those his Telvanni master employs. Whatever this is about, it's no concern of mine. My father managed to leave me out of his life. He can leave me out of his problems too. You want to talk? My sister Neria works the stables. She tolerates my father's business better than I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get yourself a drink, and one for me. Do my eyes look red to you? Drunk on this Kwama water.
Ow! Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it.
Customers are always welcome.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this.
Vea fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vea knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vea's friends. But those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the house guard as my daughter. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then. But not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vea has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I'm wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the Tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. But I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.
Alright, we just need to get that levitate spell and be good to go on this expansion.
Ow! Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard. You must be one of the freelancers the Council employed to supplement the duties of the House Guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Vea ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vea... I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vea is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think her friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps, as long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vea, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note. When you find Vea's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vea. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Vea's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, but she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Vea. If and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys. Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail, but we suspect it's the way Vea has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city. Look, it may amount to nothing, but the note could give us a lead on where to find Vea.
Even if you hadn't destroyed those shipments, I'm sure the Tribunal would have stopped the plague.
My, you look like a well-traveled individual. If you're looking to give your mount a well-deserved rest, you've come to the right place. We know how to pamper a loyal guar in Balmora. My father? Oh no, has he taken a fall? Or did he ask you to do something for him? He's been declining of late, and I'm afraid he's not entirely in his right mind. Oh, Mills. He was so young when Mother passed. I've tried to explain that Father had to work to keep a roof over our heads, but it's been difficult. I raised Mills myself while Father was away, which was often. He's never forgiven Father for that. Oh yes, Father is well regarded among the Telvanni Masters, even though he's never aspired to be one himself. Master Drenim trusts him implicitly, and if you know anything about the Telvanni, that's impressive on its own. They don't trust easily. I'm afraid I don't know. All he's been able to tell me is that part of his contract with Master Drenim forbids him from disclosing any of the Master's business, even to his own children. Whatever he's doing, I'm certain it's important. I wish he didn't have to work so much. Master Drenim pays well, but sometimes I worry he will work Father to death. He's just so tired all the time. Even when he finds time away, Mills refuses to see him, and I know that hurts him dearly. I did for a bit, after Mother died. I didn't understand why Father couldn't be with us until I grew up and learned how hard it is to keep a family housed and fed. Now I appreciate all Father's sacrifices for us. I just wish Mills could see it.
Get this letter to Trevis. It's important. Just don't let House Weatherin get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
Stay away from me, I'm warning you! Stay away from me, I'm warning you! You won't get this note!
This is taking forever.
Alright, apparently I was not supposed to follow that guy. I was afraid she swapped it off with him, but she actually used him as a decoy, and I fell for it, so... NPC 1, Zombie cozy room.
Get this letter to Trevis. It's important. Just don't let House Veteran get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
I saw you head across the bridge toward Vea's friends. So, how did you fare, Outlander? Did you learn anything that might help us find the Councillor's daughter? Trevis? That laggard? I never understood what Vea saw in him. I suggest you go back and try again. Just do a better job of keeping your distance and don't lose sight of the note carrier. That's all.
Get this letter to Trevis. It's important. Just don't let House Veteran get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
Well done. This should help us determine what happened to Vea's brother. Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redren pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vea wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that. Vea wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vea since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her. Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him. A local tough, goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills. I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Balmora's not that big. Most of the sons and daughters of the house leaders and prominent merchants know each other. Vea's one of us, and we'll do whatever it takes to help her find her brother. Well, within reason. And Vea would do the same for us. That's why we're helping her. She really is a terrific person. I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog. Sorry about that. I'm kind of on edge, if you hadn't noticed. Everyone knows Vea's brother. Or they did, before he disappeared. Ulran was an exemplary officer. Everything House Redoran could hope for. Vea won't rest until she learns the truth. She ran away because her father refused to give her a straight answer. She suspects he was involved in Ulran's disappearance. Or that he at least knows more than he's willing to say. Is it any wonder Vea decided to take matters into her own hands? You think I'm just going to tell you all our secrets, Outlander? Well, that's not going to happen. I won't betray Vea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it! Kill the Morag Tong and any witnesses! I'll just take my leave. No use getting my axes bloody again. I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand. You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially. Vea? The new apprentice? Now why in oblivion do you care about Vea? Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Vea's mentor. Last I heard, she had a job in the Western Ruins. Make sure you don't anger Vea's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs. You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge. Oh, you make it sound so obscene. Still, that's pretty much an accurate description. But it's not like I work for the Dark Brotherhood or anything. I don't kill anyone without a sanctioned writ. Keeps the great houses in line. It's a calling. I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too if you plan to continue on this course. Vea's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her.
Here.
Oh, Gilon, look! A Dwemer gear. It's in remarkably good condition.
Yes, wonderful. I'll mark it down.
And here, another. Could these have fallen off the ruins?
Yes, that is peculiar.
Is something the matter, dear? You seem distracted today.
Oh, nothing's the matter. I'm nervous.
Whatever for. If anything attacks us, I'll protect you.
I'm not nervous about an attack, Bravura. It's just... well... there's no good way to say this.
To say what?
Marry me?
Are you serious?
That's... not the response I hoped for.
Gilon, of course I'll marry you. I love you. I just expected something more dramatic.
Well, I planned to propose at the falls, but today we didn't go to the falls. I had to improvise.
And this is why you've been so nervous.
Yes. Wait. Did you just agree to marry me?
Yes, Gilon. 12 times yes. My dear, distracted, adorable archivist, I will marry you.
That's wonderful!
Isn't it?
Oh, Bravura, you won't regret this. You are the stars to my sky.
Did you just come up with that?
Well, no. I've been saving it for the right time.
Yeah. Here.
And it seemed to be going so well, too. Until, you know, like, the army of Nyx hounds ate me alive. Then it didn't go very well. Nope, this isn't a new class, by the way, to answer one of the viewer questions. This is Sorcerer. It's just a subset Daedric Summoner slash Dark Magic. With some other passives tossed in, of course. Got light armor and all that good stuff.
This place is fascinating. I wonder how long it's lain undisturbed.
It could be years, decades even.
I'd hope to find more Dwemer relics, but I suppose the view is inspiring.
It certainly is.
Flatterer. You can see this view anywhere now, can't you?
And yet I never grow tired of looking.
Speaking of looking, we should start viewing larger homes.
What's wrong with our current home?
It's rather small, isn't it?
It's cozy. Just enough room for you and me.
And you don't see how that could become a problem?
No?
Well, you've done a lot more than look since we married, dear.
At houses? Wait, Bravora?
Yes.
You're pregnant?
That happens when one enjoys the view, doesn't it?
That's wonderful! I'm going to be a father!
Yes, dear. Yes, you are.
We need a new house with a real kitchen and a second bedroom. Perhaps even 3 bedrooms?
One step at a time, dear.
Ugh, might have to form a group to do Nilthog. I was hoping to find somebody just killing him.
Yeah. Open your eyes. Please, open your eyes.
Are they gone?
Yes. You fought them off.
Oh, good. Dying for nothing would have been embarrassing.
You're not going to die. I won't allow it.
That's ambitious of you.
I can mend more than a scraped knee, you'll see. Just don't move.
That feels better.
I told you. You're still bleeding. Just a little more. I can save you. I will save you.
Take care of the children. For me. Promise.
We'll take care of them together.
Promise me.
I will, I promise. But keep your eyes open.
I wish I could.
Bravura!
You've made these years so wonderful.
Bravura! Bravura!
Your wife signed a contract, Gilan. She did not complete it.
But she died.
And now the crystals she was to procure for me have been acquired by my rival.
I've lost the mother of my children.
Your failings are not my problem.
We don't have enough money to pay you back.
Then we will sell your house.
We can't do that. Master, please. My children.
May purchase their own dwelling with their own money.
Neri's only just turned 8, and Mills...
You would offer an alternative?
What can I offer you?
I understand you have some aptitude for magic. You will serve me.
My children
will remain in your home, so long as you do not violate our contract.
But who will raise them? When will I see them?
You will see them when I don't need you. Or would you rather see them in the street?
No, of course not. Thank you, Master Drenham. I will serve you.
You sign your contract today.
Yeah.
Were you able to recover my memories? It's important they understand. No, thank you. You've recovered everything I need to explain. Well, to talk with my children. I'm not sure my heart can endure any more of this. It feels like losing her all over again. Please, could you do this old man one last favor? Ask my children to come visit me? I feel like I can finally leave them with the answers I've never been able to provide. Tell Neria we need to talk about her mother. As for Mills, if he hesitates, tell him it's about the estate, his inheritance. Neria works at the stables. She's always been good with guar, something she inherited from her mother. Mills will likely be fishing on the canal for dinner. He's always kept them both fed.
Yeah.
I can't believe Lord Vivec didn't seem worse today.
He's a living god. I'm sure he was just...
Oh, you've returned to bother me again. I have nothing to say to that man. What is it about I don't want to talk about my father that you can't understand? I don't want his money any more than I want his apologies. Does that man really think he can buy me off after ignoring me my entire life? Leave me alone. If Father needs someone to listen to his excuses, ask Neria to do it. Oh, you just don't give up, do you? Fine. I'll endure another few moments with my absentee father. For her. Just let me set aside the fish I've caught today first.
What do you want?
The hero of Davon's Watch. What I wouldn't have given to see Balmora destroy the Daggerfall army.
Back again? Father hasn't been an undue burden to you, I hope. My mother? Father rarely mentions her. I can tell how painful it is for him to recall her, even after all these years. I was young when she passed, but my memories are pleasant. Did he say what this is about? What did he have you doing? How odd. Father always was dabbling in magic. Often it seemed like he had time for little else, though I know he did it to take care of us. Still, I'd better check up on him. I imagine Mills wants nothing to do with this. I'll ensure he joins us. No one persuades Mills to do anything. I'm quite impressed. That will certainly save me a trip. I suppose I should head home straight away.
The Master went upstairs to rest. He did not wish to be disturbed until you arrived.
Let's go, Mills. He's still your father.
He has an odd way of showing it.
Father? Mills has come to visit. Father? Father! Oh, Father. I suppose you are with Mother at last.
Couldn't resist disappointing me one last time. Good riddance.
If only I'd come sooner. Thank you. We all knew this was coming. That doesn't make it any easier to bear. My father was a good man, even if Mills never got to see it. Why was he so obsessed with that stone? You said he had you store his memories inside it? I'm almost afraid to do so. What couldn't he just say to us all this time? Still, these were his last wishes. Thank you for making that possible.
What? A ghost?
Neria. Mills. I so regret not being there as you grew up. What I could never tell you is why my life was not my own.
Shh, Mills. I think this is a memory.
Soon, I'll be able to share the truth with you. To share everything with you. Thanks to the efforts of this kind traveler, I have archived my memories on this stone. I hope one day you will find it in your hearts to forgive me, and find the father and mother you never had. Here, I love you. I have always loved you. You've both made me so proud.
Father.
Why? Why couldn't you just fade away like you always do? Why couldn't you just let me forget you?
Because it's not just about him, Mills, or you. It's about all of us. Our family, together at last.
I thought I knew my father. I always thought he hated me, and that's why he was never around. I came to terms with that long ago. I had a father, and I hated him. Now he's gone. How am I supposed to face what's in that stone knowing I was wrong?
It must have been so hard on Father, to have to leave us so often, to keep silent while we grew cold and distant, even when he was here. It might seem odd, but I feel hopeful. Father and Mother are finally with us. Their memories will live on.
Here.
Stupid dog. What
Here.
happened? Let me see. I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Here.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redarin proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god," or something along those lines. Look, I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlander showed up. Well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea. I don't know what happened after that. I was kind of busy trying not to die. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations when the cultists attacked. The way things are... Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Or until I hear screaming. Then I'll go to Balmora and try to find some help.
You don't look like one of those crazy cultists, and you certainly aren't one of our miners. So by Vivec's holy nose hairs, who in Oblivion are you? Really? Then forget I said anything about His Holiness' nasal preening. They're some sort of Daedric cultists. They've been performing rituals, calling forth divine power, some such nonsense. At least they were, before the Ashlanders showed up. The savages barged into the deep chambers, seemed to know about the hidden passage and everything, stole the relic the cultists were praying over, and ran for the hills. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm going, as soon as it's safe to leave.
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were able to escape from the cultists. Good luck with your mission, whatever it is.
Outlander. Let me die in the shame I've brought to Malakath. Defeated by a lone warrior. Malakath will laugh at our incompetence. An assassin. Probably a Morag tongue. She tracked our leader here. But she doesn't know. We set a trap inside the ruins. Oh.
She's just one woman! Get inside the ruins and stop her!
You know, it's kind of funny, I've cleared this ruin in different iterations of the Elder Scrolls series. It's just very odd to be back here doing it again on an MMORPG. Trying to set that guy up for an assassination. If I can get this Malakath champion again. Get reduced XP, but I love the assassination
Let the assassin come. I'm tired of running and she doesn't frighten me. Come out, little assassins! Or is the Morag tongue too scared to meet the powerful snag face to face?
You have a habit of turning up at the most unusual moments, don't you, hero?
Oh, it's Naraya. Alright.
Questions? I don't have time for questions. I have a writ to complete. Look, I can't keep these evil cultists waiting. You want to talk? Find me after I finish this job. Hero, you really need to stop leading like this.
Come out, little assassins! Or is the Morag tongue too scared to meet the powerful snag face to face?
Really, Snag? This only delays the inevitable.
Circle around! Secret tusks! You won't get past me!
Alright, I was wondering when that was going to happen. I just capped 60 everywhere.
Excuse me, hero. I have to see an orc about a writ.
Don't kill me. I didn't mean to interfere with House Silvani's plans. I made a mistake.
A mistake? Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Telvanni know. I'm sure Mage Valen will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
I am. Ugh, I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here. I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought, what the tusk are you doing down here? Pardon my orcish. Did you really follow me across the continent? That shows commitment. Kind of creepy, but still a lot of commitment. Oh, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Faye's going through a difficult time right now. And the last thing she needs is some house veteran lackey adding to her pain and confusion. I know you, hero. It's old man Eris I don't trust. He didn't tell you about Vea's brother, did he? How House Redron exiled their favorite son. No? I didn't think so. Vea deserves answers, and I promise to help her. You need to just walk away. Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Vea's safe and you'll see her soon, but no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Vea with them. We'll only deal with you. Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Vea agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready. Ah, were you imagining a hot bath, a bottle of wine, and a secluded cottage with a roaring fire? Me too. Instead, we're up to our armpits in the usual muck and mire, just like old times. All this, and things are looking up for my organization, too. I suppose if you're in for a sliver, you might as well be in for the log. I'm with the Morrowind Tong, and what you witnessed was a legal murder. According to my writ, the orc had to die. So, I killed him. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to Vea. Vea and I have a history. Her brother, too. They were good kids. Liked to watch me train. Now I feel responsible for her. When she came to me looking for help and asked to join the Morrowind Tong, who was I to refuse? That was her decision, not mine. Vea's good with a blade and tracks like a Nord Ranger. She's a natural at this, and it gives me a chance to keep an eye on her. So now I'm her mentor and she's my apprentice. I wouldn't have it any other way. That was poetry in motion. Not only is my organization getting choice assignments again, but we're starting to recover some of our prestige. Specifically, these Malakath cultists interfered with House Telvanni, so they had to be dealt with. Oh, him? No one special. Just the leader of this particular band of mad cultists. His name was on the writ, so I had to end him. It's what I do, after all, and I do it so well.
may I be of service?
I'm surprised to see you back here, but I'm also relieved. Does this mean you have news about my daughter? Is she safe? Is she ready to come home? Vea joined that cult of assassins? I was afraid she'd do something rash. But what was she thinking? I don't see the Morag Tong as safe, but at least she's still alive, so I suppose that's something. When are we going to meet with my daughter? She won't meet with me? No, I suppose she's not ready for that quite yet. As for Vea's brother, that was all the doing of the Redoran Council. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, but he's still alive, if that's what Vea is worried about. Naryu's back in town? She's as stubborn as Vea. Very well. No other outsiders. Although I can't dismiss the mercenaries that Captain Briven employs. House Redoran is my life, as is Vea. I'll do everything in my power to see her home safely. As you say, no other outsiders. But there are rules, Outlander. I must do everything within reason to maintain the honor of House Redoran. Here, your first payment. Soon, however, I'll expect more than just a verbal confirmation of Vea's safety. When next you see her, tell my daughter that I want to talk to her. Vea can set the terms, and I expect her to stop running away when things don't go her way. Vea has always felt shackled by the rules of House Redoran, hobbled by the many duties and obligations it presses upon its subjects. After the situation involving her brother, she decided she wanted nothing more to do with the house, or with me. That may be an oversimplification, but I suppose your statement is accurate. I walk a narrow path between House Counselor and loving father. Unfortunately, the former often supersedes the latter. That's why I want to speak to Vea again.
I grew up in Narcissus. I can't believe this stupid plague almost turned the place into a ghost town.
Well, look at that. Naryu said I'd find you here, and damn it all if she wasn't right. Did I mention how much I hate being a messenger? Makes me wish I had a writ so I could kill something. Anyway, Naryu wants to talk to you. Said you'd know what it was all about. Here. This should explain everything, sort of. It's a map. We change locations every other day for security reasons. Just in case it falls into the hands of House Redoran or someone else with an axe to grind with our organization. Never had to use a map before. Amateurs. This one leads to a key to one of our safe houses, and another map. The first map? It depicts a particular town. Kind of like this one. Hint, hint. The rest? Well, you'll have to figure that out on your own. Look, I know you're helping Councillor Eris, but if that map falls into House Redoran hands, I'll probably have to kill you. Nothing personal, mind you. We're already having a bit of trouble with the house, and we'd rather not make matters worse. What are you implying? Can't a person do something nice to help out an ally every now and again? Oh, who am I kidding? I hate playing the messenger. Haven't you ever done something you hate because it was the right thing to do? Then you understand what I'm talking about. Being noble, doing the honorable thing. It can be a real pain in the arse, but a favor given becomes a favor returned. Eventually. Well, look at you. You're a practical genius. Look, Nayu seems to trust you, so I suppose I have to trust you too. But that's a powerful secret you've been given. Betray us, and you'll find my blade in your back. Unless Nayu kills you first. The Morag Tong has the authority to accept and carry out writs of execution. We keep the great houses from engaging in all-out war, but they rarely appreciate the work we do on their behalf. House Redorin in particular wants to shut us down. The other houses have used us to take Redorin down a peg or two of late. To be frank, for all their vaunted honor, the house cries foul whenever someone gets the better of them. Our status is tenuous enough without Redorin's constant harassment. As I understand it, the Morag Tong made mistakes in the past, grew too arrogant. We had to lay low for more than a century. Now, we're taking select contracts, working to re-establish our reputation. It's not our fault most of them concern Redorin. What are you implying? Can't a person do something?
Here! Here! Here!
I hope to be done here soon.
Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security around here. Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Vea would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her, and your connection to her father could prove beneficial once she knows she can trust you. Redwin records. House officials keep track of everything. Incidents, commendations, births and deaths. Whether important or mundane, they detail it all in their registry. Vea believes the registry contains information about her brother Ulron. Don't sound so offended. You had to know your hands were going to get dirty eventually. You are dealing with assassins and politicians, after all. The local keeper of records, Lord Drono, is away, so security at his townhouse should be light.
Is this on straight?
Cracking heads. The Gart is on its way, intruder.
If I had a gold piece for every loot, now get lost, scum.
Yeah.
Can't you see I'm busy?
Still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Redoran dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Vea's brother, Ulran? Ulran was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in Oblivion would House Redoran banish one of their brightest stars? I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Vea now. There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Vea's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave or just outside. Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is. Vea would face too many temptations here in Balmora. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redoran. Even the most thick-headed house guard would eventually stumble over her. Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade before it plunges into your heart. Well enough. Ulran and Vea used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blades that fascinated them to no end. Eventually, our fondness developed between the three of us. And to think, I never even had a nick sound growing up. It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they grew older. Anything's possible, but the Ulran I know holds honor above all else. I can't believe he'd do something so dishonorable that the house leaders would demand his exile. We need to find out more about what happened. Vea's young, bored, and stubborn. That makes for a volatile combination. She wants fresh air and freedom. I can't blame her for that. I can blame her for assuming I'm not aware of her little excursions. I thought I trained her better than that. Danger's a relative term, especially when you're dealing with relatives. Vea can make her own decisions. If she wants to risk getting caught by House Redoran, that's on her head, especially since she knows they've been searching that area.
And you're sure it's Vea? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the war claws well, because the war claws are the best there is. We have the kitten scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferrara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again. Ah, the Counselor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Vea. As a matter of fact, so have we. This whole ordeal will be over soon, and then you can be on your way, Outlander. My mercenaries have spotted Vea skulking about the northern portion of the swamp. Between my soldiers and Ferhara's warclaws, the Counselor's daughter will soon be home safe and sound. Vea's brother, it's a sad story, killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But Ulron always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This Khajiit mercenaries of the highest order. For members of a lesser race, Ferhara's warriors are surprisingly effective. I employ them to bolster our forces. Between obligations to the Pact and other matters, House Redoran is spread thin of late. As you say, Ferhara's warclaws take their contract as seriously as you do, however. Get in their way, and I can't guarantee your safety.
Ferhara assumes the Counselor's minions will not present a problem for the war claws. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferhara. I leave everything else to your discretion.
By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight. Oh, right. Now you mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned, but the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. There's a cave to the northeast. We can talk there. Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent. You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Oh, and try not to get killed. I really want to know what you came all this way to tell me. Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
I can smell the dark elf kitten. Looks like we're the first ones here.
Let's flay this outsider!
What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Orun. What did you find out? No, that can't be right. Orun's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished? What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened. I know the tribe that Orun liked to help, brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait, someone's coming.
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave, along with half the House Redoran soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it! They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense of smell. The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redoran troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may have the numbers to do it. One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redoran recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave.
Does stable to you?
Search everywhere. Captain Priven thinks the Councillor's kitten might try to escape through these tunnels.
Damn! Those cat bastards are harder to shake than a blind date. This looks promising. Let's give it a try. That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redorans up there. Oh no, we're surrounded! And that's my father! What's he doing here?
Sweep the caves. If you spot Vea, report back to me. She's not to be harmed.
I prefer that you don't harm the agents I hired either. There's no need for bloodshed.
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These outlanders work for me. The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Vea has been spotted. Tell me, have you seen my daughter? I won't sleep well until she's home, safe and sound. I also said that the captain has his own resources. The Warclaws report to Briven, not me. Look, we're all just trying to get my daughter home safely. Now, tell me what Vea's thinking. It was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find my daughter. So, where and when will Vea meet with me? Very well. We'll do this her way. Vea can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Next time, I expect Vea to be with you. Or I might just let Captain Briven do this his way. Do as I command, and let them pass.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about you. I wonder why that is. Lord Vivec, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother. My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead. Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation. No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Aldrin. My brother and I have always worked to help our people, and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, things have become different. He's almost like... No, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss my brother in more detail. Perhaps. That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. Turning away from our forefathers and god ancestors has made them weak. The Red Exiles, they're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into the camp to talk, but he's been gone too long. I'm worried. As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate, but they're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice.
You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash. You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him. So our legends say, Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivec's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the Tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in. He uses an Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course. All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout. Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara.
Yeah.
Ah, a fellow out... Drelleth Hilaron of House Redoran at your service. Though I doubt I'll be very useful here. This is Ashlander country, and they've made it clear I'm not welcome. It's my fault, really. I made a mess of their customs when I arrived. I'm researching for my family's ancestral tomb, you see. My research led me here, to Aldrin. It's hard to believe, but I think my family may have settled here for a time. When I arrived, I immediately started asking questions. I was... overzealous? Unfortunately, yes. I wonder if we might aid each other. Despite my missteps, I do know a great deal about Ashlander culture. I could help you earn their favor. In return, you could find out if they know anything about my family's tomb. First, pay respect to Farsia Quanta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb. You'll see a great bonfire in the middle of the camp. She'll be there. Look for the woman with the blindfold. Part of the ritual honoring her ascension from Farseer to Wise Woman, the Wise Women guide the Ashlanders on matters of faith. Even the Ashkans defer to them. The blindfold represents the need to look beyond what the eyes can see. The annual pilgrimage to honor the fall of Scar, the great Emperor Crab. The Ashlanders claim their ancestors united to bring the beast down. They gather here to celebrate the victory and bring offerings to the cairns of the first Ashkans. Fathers of the 4 largest Ashlander tribes. Long ago, they united the Velothi people under one banner to kill Scar. The tribes often quarrel, but during a celebration they greet each other as friends. I wish the houses had such a custom. Yes, the Hilaron ancestral tomb. My family's crypt has been lost for centuries. Most of my kinsmen gave up searching for it decades ago. They assume it's been destroyed or lies too deeply buried, but I remain optimistic. I discovered a tablet hidden away in an ancient Velothi temple. It contained a cryptic reference to my family. In the shadow of Scar, we found our home. The Ashlanders call the last Emperor Crab Scar, so the tomb must be nearby. The tribes gather here every year beneath Scar to pay tribute to the first...
Your footsteps are as loud as a Kaguri's. What is it you want, Outlander? Have you now? Then you have my thanks, and my curiosity also. Outsiders rarely show us such respect. When they do, it is always because they want something. What do you want, I wonder? Remarkable. You would honor our ancestors. Very well. I give you my blessing. You hesitate. Shall I explain the custom? Each of the 4 great tribes seek a unique and worthy offering. You must place the gift at the foot of each Ashkan's cairn. For Ahemusa, an ashen fern. For Erebenimsum, the weapon of an exile slain by your hand. For Urshilaku, the bones of a Gwar returned to ash. And for Zainab, the hidden treasure of a Kwama queen. We will see how much fire you hold in your heart. Yes, though becoming is a clumsy word for it. Every daughter of Veloth has worth. When we learn to speak with our water tongue and read the truth in the stones, we also learn the truth of our hearts. The truth is, we have been wise all along.
Here. Here.
Well, there certainly aren't Ashlanders, not with those tales.
This is disturbing. I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Redoran thinking? And what in the name of the three have they done with the Ashlanders? My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place, so full of life. I know House Redoran wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the war claws loose like this. If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the war claws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here. I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Vea, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redoran hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blades doesn't think so.
Damn it, Vea! You know I hate that title.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear to be one of the heretical invaders, but looks can be deceiving. What do you seek, stranger? Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. Ulran is here. He tried to stand against the Redorans, just as they detained me within this yurt. I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I say tribunal cats in this instance? Be wary. The mine will be as protected as the camp, maybe even more so. It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redorans and their war claws arrived. Now they toss my people aside and lock the door. Warclaw Irgazar carries the key, but there is a spare in the supply yurt. Get the key to the mine from either the Warclaw's commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits your needs. Perhaps you'll find what you seek within Kudanot's depths. To keep the head and the body separate, as long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice. And I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders. I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people, at least for now. The Warclaws have treated me well so far. They believe I can make their tails fall off if I so choose. Who am I to dissuade such creatures from their beliefs?
just going to burn them? Even the Reverend?
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Intruders! War claws! Attack!
Down here! Come on! Wait. What's that smell?
Vea, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods! They murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no! Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead. You just can't!
Vea shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house counselor. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redrun, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the war clause. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I'm not sure how Vea's going to get her answers now. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord, but Oron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell to my sister. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Vea.
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do now?
I agree with Ulran's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Vea, though. What was Ulran thinking? I didn't say that. Just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redoran. And we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Vea and head back to our safe house in Balmora. I found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. If I break them, I'll have to deal with the consequences. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof and a proper writ, my hands are tied. You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in House Redrin is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Bea and I still need your help to get to the bottom of all of this. We'll see you in Balmora, hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this on straight?
How can I help you?
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Vea, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Tell me, Outlander, which is it to be? Complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses. No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages? Vea was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me, if you would, Outlander. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Vea stays away from Balmora and House Redoran. It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just left. House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in. Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So, I sent Captain Briven to convince them otherwise. The captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other counselors. I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redoran.
Alright everybody, it looks like the server's coming down anyway. We were getting close to the end of the live stream, so we'll go ahead and end it here. We'll be picking up tomorrow for part 3 of our Morrowind DLC playthrough. So thank you all for watching. If you are a new viewer, please consider hitting the subscribe button and you'll be able to keep up with our videos. Take care everyone. Good gaming.